welcome to Yo-Yo Talk. This is going to be our Hall of Fame episode. Now, if you were watching last month, I was had a few little technological issues, but I think we've got these technical issues resolved from the last episode, which was mostly to blame on me being a Luddite. I am trying to do the producing of the show, which means that we have gone to DEFCON 1 status. However, Sean, our previous producer, is sitting right here waiting to correct me and get the show going back up to speed if I mess up while I'm trying to do this or screw this episode up. So I've added another studio camera, and I think I'll be able to show you some close-up pictures of some yo-yos that I haven't been able to do before, and that's going to be good. I'm also think it will make me a little bit more efficient, although it may not seem that way right now. Okay, and I've already screwed one thing up, so I'll let you pause it. So Sean is here correcting my... I have just released the flying monkeys. So I'm back now. I'm trying to shift the show's content to a little bit more about collecting and history. And although I'm going to give some major contest updates, like, for instance, Nationals, which will be held in Vegas this year on June 27th through the 29th, so red letter that day. I'll plan on being there with some collectible yo-yos to trade, so I hope some of you guys show up with some of your dupes to make my day. Now, there is a rumor that there may be an Elvis lookalike yo-yo contest, and if that is true, it is a must-see and a must-do. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys will show up at the National Yo-Yo Championships this year in Vegas. Now, if you're watching, please give me a shout out on the chat. I like to know people are watching. This is supposed to be an interactive live show, and I'll try to answer any questions as I see them come up. So far, it looks like we've got an audience of 0 live. So if you are watching, then this is your lucky day. Because we are going to, oh, wow, that just blew everything out. I don't think that helped, Sean. Oh, there we go. Okay, the camera has now adjusted. So we are back into, let me see. Still nobody, okay, why am I not seeing those up on my message board then if we've got some folks watching there, Sean? Okay, doesn't look like it's. Sean is going to fix that for me. Let's see. Where am I? Okay, well, I'm going to just jump right into the meat of the show, which is the announcement of the 3 inductees into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. And while I'm battling about what the National Hall of Fame is, I'm going to run the little clip of the 2024. Let's see if we can stop what you're doing there, Sean, with my computer and hit this. There we go. There, we're running it. This is what our current video is through 2023. That's last year National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame members. I don't believe there's any higher honor in the yo-yo community than being selected by your peers as an inductee into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. These individuals have been involved with yo-yos for decades and given a great deal of time and energy into our sport and hobby, and they have stood out in so many different ways in the yo-yo world. So all of these people should be known and remembered by anybody that's involved in the sport of yo-yos. For those that aren't familiar with the process of getting into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame, in the last couple of months of 2024, nominations were opened, and generally anybody in the general public can nominate anybody. It's pretty easy to get a nomination, unless you are me, because I am unnominatable. because I am the director of the Hall of Fame. So I am never eligible for that. So usually this goes to the nominating committee after all the nominations come in, so they can select the 10 finalists. They cull it down, but the 3 with the most nominations do automatically become a finalist. But this year we didn't have more than 10 finalists, so everybody ended up in. Now, we did add something this year which is a little bit different. We added what is called the Golden Age category, which were worthy individuals that had their main activity during the Golden Age of yo-yoing, which was from 1928 to 1965. So the total number of inductees will be 3. We'll have 2 regular at-large inductees, and then we will have 1 inductee from the Golden Age. So, as I said, because we didn't reach that nomination finalist limit, everybody that was nominated this year was a finalist. So it was a good year to get nominated. Your chances of getting in were a little bit higher based on the number of people that we had. And these were all great nominees. Every one of these people, I think, eventually are going to wind up in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame, along with the other folks that you're seeing here on the screen. Now, I'm going to go on and move ahead to our finalist. And these are our nominees and finalists for 2024. In the Golden Age category, we have Nemo Concepcion, who's best known for the Yo-Yo Man documentary. He was an early 1930s Duncan demonstrator. Gustavo Velez, he was the amazing Russell Yo-Yo campaign manager. He promoted yo-yos worldwide. Larry Seiko was the owner of the Seiko Yo-Yo Company. Wayne Lundberg was the inventor of the butterfly-shaped yo-yo. Al Gallo was the owner of later in the Cheerios in the 50s, and then the National Yo-Yo Companies in Canada. Ted Anderson, a 1950s Duncan demonstrator that worked for the DRI foreign division of Duncan. And in the at-large nominations, we have Gustavo Velez, who was nominated in both categories. Don Watson, designer, innovator. Chuck Short, demonstrator and innovator. Paul Escolar, yo-yo trick innovator. Tommy Smothers, entertainment name, of course, the Yo-Yo Man. Al Gallo was nominated in both categories. Takeshi Kamisato, I'm sorry, I butchered his name. Modern yo-yo demonstrator, best known for his mods. There was Greg Cohen, the world champion director for over a decade. And Rick Wyatt, of course, was a Guinness World Record holder and player demonstrator. So those are our nominees for 2024 Hall of Fame. And again, all these people that just scrolled across the screen there are worthy of being in the Hall of Fame. And I think most of these guys will eventually be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but only 3 of them will be inducted this year. And those 3 are our Golden Age inductee is
Larry Seiko, 2024.
All right.
Sei, a.k.a. Larry Seiko, was always a showman. He was also fascinated by yo-yos. In 1948, he had his first club win in a yo-yo competition at the Pawtucket Boys Club. After that, he and his brother entered a contest at the Capitol Theater in Pawtucket, where he was awarded first place and his brother second place, earning them a bicycle and a radio, respectively. By 1951, he was a field demonstrator for Duncan yo-yos. Later, in the 1950s, he was performing and traveling around the world to promote Duncan yo-yos in their DRI division. During that period, he also was listed as a world champion. After his stint with Duncan ended, he worked briefly at a plastic factory working with injection molding, which later led to, in 1966, him patenting his own yo-yo, a plastic yo-yo with a wood axle. And he started his own company making the yo-yos branded Seiko. He became known as Larry Seiko. He was a one-man band manufacturing, demonstrating, doing parties, and he continued to do this into his 70s, and of course selling only Seiko yo-yos. Some years he would produce as many as 100,000 yo-yos. 2 of his books were published, the Ultimate Yo-Yo book in 1998 and another Ultimate Yo-Yo book, More Great Tricks and Tips, in 2000. His yo-yos and string packs and display boxes are coveted by collectors. Larry Seiko, 1932 to 2019.
Tommy Smothers would have to be considered the only Hall of Fame finalist that would not be a yo-yo demonstrator. Yo-yo entertainer would be more of a fitting description. Not that Tommy Smothers did not teach folks to yo-yo. His Kodak yo-yo video with Dan Volk in 1988 sold over 200,000 copies and at the time was the most watched instructional video ever made. Tommy Smothers came out with his Yo-Yo Man character in 1986 on the Johnny Carson Show, and it became an integral part of the Smothers Brothers comedy act. He reintroduced the yo-yo to a new generation and sparked so much interest that it is viewed by many to be the start of the modern yo-yo age. He influenced many of the Hall of Fame legends and was gracious to spend much time with many of them after his shows, including highlighting so many of them on his television specials. He does have several signature yo-yos, and in general, in the community, he is without a doubt the most recognized, famous person to be identified with the yo-yo. Tommy Smothers.
All right, now for our final Hall of Fame inductee, we have Don Watson.
Don Watson, 2024 National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame inductee. Don Watson, aka Captain Yo, began his yo-yo story during the Great Depression, where he recycled Canada Dry bottles for change, which he bought his first Duncan beginner yo-yo. This was the beginning of a lifelong passion for the yo-yo. He learned from the early Duncan demonstrators and won neighborhood contests, and by the age of 16, he had won a bicycle demonstrating his yo-yo skills. Serving as a bombardier in World War II, he then went on to get a degree in mechanical and electrical engineering that would later revolutionize yo-yo design. Don's collaboration with Tom Kuhn on the SB2 ball-bearing yo-yo was revolutionary. They introduced the adjustable gap and expanded the universe of yo-yo tricks. Beyond these engineering feats, he enriched our understanding of yo-yos with a series of monographs on yo-yo physics. In 2004, Don received the Harvey Lowe Lifetime Achievement Award for his innovations in yo-yo technology. Don stayed active in the yo-yo community his entire life. Don Watson, Captain Yo, inductee, 2024 National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame.
All right, congratulations go out to all the families of these individuals because sadly all of these folks have passed. Not a requirement for the Hall of Fame, thankfully. Now, if anybody out there watching has contact information for the families of these inductees, I would appreciate it if you could forward that on to me so I can get them their patches and plaques to them. Okay, moving on. You have already probably discovered or learned about or read the Yo-Namicon, and there's probably a sad reason why you haven't, and if you haven't, you're dead to me anyway. So the Yo-Namicon was the brainchild of Hall of Fame inductee Mark McBride, who is the father of the 3A division, or as I like to call it, duplex play. He hates that name, so it will likely stick. Anyway, I was talking to McBride, and I didn't realize that he has come out with a new edition. The original Yo-Namicon, and I will show you this. These are some of the original diagrams and manuscripts from the original one. It was released at the height of the giant yo-yo craze at the end of the 90s, and along with my book, Lucky's Collector's Guide to 20th Century Yo-Yos, we just missed the New York Times bestseller list by a mere few million copies. So anyway, these are the old manuscripts, and it has percolated along over 25 years without an update. So McBride has decided once again to take a shot at the New York Times bestseller list with the Yo-Namicon second edition. Now, there are additions to the book written when he was off his medication, so it is an interesting read and an item which you are required to buy if you expect to remain a loyal member in good standing in the yo-yo community. Only you can get the McBride Yo-Namicon on the New York Times bestseller list. It requires lots of people buying it, so it is up to you. Sex and bribes don't work. I tried it with my book, so trust me, that is not the way to go. You can order the Yo-Namicon at Yo-Namicon.com. Luck always follows McBride. Can you imagine that Yo-Namicon.com was available when he was looking for that URL? But wait, there's more. If you go to his website, there are special editions which you have to see to believe. I have already ordered my handwritten copy for $20,000. Sadly, I requested it be written in Sanskrit, which was not available, amazingly enough. But they've got all kinds of special editions. They're a fun read. So check it out. They are as unique as the book is itself. And this is not a paid announcement. I get nothing for this. It's a fun book. It's a fun website. So check it out. And speaking of McBride and unique, I want to show you something that McBride himself ended up showing me. Okay, let's see. I'm doing something new for the first time. I'm going to use this second camera here, and I'm okay. Here we go. The eyeball off. Right. Okay, we'll give him. Okay, here it is. Okay, try not to look at the naughty bits, but that is McBride here with this special yo-yo. Oh, wait a minute. I blew this, man. I was not supposed to give this away. Okay, now let me click off the eyeball. Okay, I'm going to move back to me. Okay, okay, I'm scrolling down. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Now, so this was supposed to be my big trivia question for the evening. Obviously, this didn't work. This is the yo-yo I was talking about and was going to surprise you what it did, but I think you already discovered that by the picture I put up too early. That is my fault. Again, Luddite working the computer here. So I will break it to you like this. This is a yo-yo that McBride used, and this is his description of it. It's a burlesque balloon popper yo-yo. It was in 2011, I think after the Bay Area Classic, they had an after-party show called the Pocket Circus.
And it had music and comedians and other variety acts. And there was a burlesque performer named Olivia Belafonte, and that is not her on this yo-yo, by the way. She came out covered in balloons, and McBride popped them with a yo-yo, which would be this one right here. And it is a modded yo-yo. It's a panda, it's a Duncan panda with a little hinged metal tab here, which if you are very careful when you throw it, it would pop the balloons, but they would collapse down when you grab the yo-yo, but it does take a little bit of skill to do that. The side panels are, like I said, not of the model, but a different model that came from an H-Spin promo sticker of a sexy model. And then apparently, the rumor has it that Patrick Mitchell actually knocked the pasties off of Olivia, and now you have the rest of the story. I bet you wish you had one of these in the
collection. How about that? So since we're talking about collectible yo-yos now, I think I'll move on to some collectible stuff. Oh, we got a question. Voltar asked a question, what happened to Brad Countryman after What's Next? I know there are people that know Brad. He's still out there doing something. I'm not sure what he's doing. I don't think he made any yo-yos after What's Next. Of course, Brad ran the Hummingbird Yo-Yo Company, and then, of course, had a little hiatus when it went under, and then What's Next Yo, the BC yo-yos came out, and he made a ton of those, which are pretty cool yo-yos and very collectible, I might add. So if you happen to know what Brad Countryman's doing, please put it in the chat there and answer that question, because I don't know. I know there are people out there that are friends with Brad, so they probably know what he's up to these days. He may just be retired, which may not be a bad thing to be. So where was I? Let's see. Oh, so I was going to talk about Vegas yo-yos, because Nationals are going to be in Las Vegas, and I thought I would show you some of the souvenir Vegas yo-yos I have. Now, these type of yo-yos are generally easy to acquire. They don't cost too much, and that's one of the reasons I like them, and they're usually easy to trade for, too. I always make it a habit when I'm traveling to look for yo-yos, and I'm usually fairly successful in coming home with at least a few souvenir yo-yos, no matter where I go. Except when I was on my honeymoon, and when I went to New England, it was a dry New England, and my wife was sick, and it was just not what you would think. You know, the honeymoon could have been better if I brought back some yo-yos, but that was not to be the case. Okay, so let me go back
to our yo-yo cam here, and I'm going to show you some, okay, here we go. Let me show you this, and we're in focus here. Now, this is your typical Vegas yo-yo, very cheap, fabulous Las Vegas. You may have seen these
around. Very cheap plastic, really a non-playing yo-yo. It's only worthy as just a souvenir to say, yep, I went to Las Vegas. So these are the ones that you want to pick up at a garage sale, nothing more. Oh, and that's probably a broken Las Vegas yo-yo now. And then the step up from that is another type of yo-yo. Now, I like these a little bit better. Again, cheap plastic yo-yo. But this is from Circus Circus, a famous casino in Vegas. Again, these you can pick up for $3, $4, $5 on eBay when they pop up. Of course, you're going to end up paying $5, $6 for postage. So the problem with that is that ends up making it a $10 yo-yo. So it's much better if you guys will bring your trader yo-yos to these contests so we can trade without having that postage tax put on us. Now, then you can get into, here's another Las Vegas yo-yo, cheap plastic yo-yo. Now, sometimes you'll look out and you will have, and this one's been on eBay several times. This is casino, but this is a glow yo-yo. So now you've got a cross-collectible yo-yo, one that's a souvenir yo-yo and one that's a glow yo-yo. So people that collect Vegas stuff will cross-collect with you. And then it's a specialty glow yo-yo for those that like to pick up glow yo-yos. Did we get another question in here?
I was talking to Tim because
okay.
I had a microphone running, so I had to fix the audio.
Oh, okay. So let's see. We're about done with the plastics. Here's another. Here's just another Circus Circus yo-yo. No, yeah, I think that's really the same one as I showed before. And here's another cheap plastic Vegas yo-yo. Again, a little different style. Again, that's a $5, $10 yo-yo on eBay. Now we're getting into a little more interesting yo-yos. This is actually, this is from the Venetian. This is looks like a pro yo. So that's actually a yo-yo that plays. So not too bad a yo-yo there. You're probably talking $10, $15 on eBay, maybe a little bit more because it looks like it's a pro yo style. And then you have your nice carved yo-yos. I used to be more excited about these, but now it's so easy to do these laser carvings on yo-yos. You see them on everything. So it's not as much fun collecting these. But, traditionally this would be a reasonable playing yo-yo for a fixed axle yo-yo. You could actually play this, so it's worthy to bring home to a kid. But collectible value-wise, you're still talking about probably $10, somewhere around there. Now you get into my favorite categories. This is a tin yo-yo. This is similar to the photolithographed yo-yos from the 70s. This has more just drawings on it, but it's this same kind of photolithograph style. I think those are pretty collectible because these are from the 70s, and if you get the photolithographed ones, they're a lot of fun to collect. I really like those. And those start running, in the $15 to $20 range. Maybe not so much this one because it's not photolithographed, but... And then my favorite are these rainbow souvenir yo-yos. And this is a wooden yo-yo. They'll have the little finger ring with it. And these are from the late 60s, early 70s. I love these yo-yos because they are the epitome of souvenir yo-yos. That's what they're made for, souvenirs. They don't play very well, but they display great because of all the colors. And I really enjoy these particular yo-yos. Now, since we're going to Vegas, I will, let me cut back to, okay, since we're going to Vegas, I wanted to, and we may have a Elvis lookalike contest. That's not confirmed, but I hope it happens. I might even have to enter that one. Who knows? I wanted to talk to you about Elvis yo-yos and all the Elvis yo-yos that are out there, which are very few. Let me see if I can, I'm going to cut back to, okay, and let me cut back to our yo-yo camera. So here's the only Elvis yo-yo that I have come up with. Now, here's the problem with this yo-yo. It's a fake. This is a cheap tin yo-yo. It's even dented in. Somebody has taken a magazine where Elvis has been in there. They've taken a round circle cutter and they've cut out a seal and they've just basically glued it onto this. And you'll notice there is no licensing on this at all. That's a dead giveaway that this is not a real yo-yo. So this is made just to rip people off. I don't think it would rip very many yo-yo collectors off, but people that are Elvis collectors sometimes will pay a lot more for these. They think they're getting some kind of original yo-yo, and that is just not the case. So since I've kind of segued into that, I wanted to talk to you about other yo-yos that don't have licenses. This is a Walking Dead yo-yo, but this is not a licensed yo-yo. So this is, and in this case, the guy, when he was selling them, he was selling them as fantasy pieces. So he was honest about it. He wasn't saying this is a licensed yo-yo or anything like that. I think it was an Etsy salesperson. And those I don't have too much problem with because they say that they are licensed. The problem is when they sell it and then the second person puts it up for sale, they may or may not remember that it wasn't a licensed yo-yo, and they may act or say that these yo-yos are actually associated with the show, which it is not. Here's a couple of examples of Hallmark yo-yos. This one has a Mickey Mouse on it. That is a decal sticker seal. I thought that might be original, but again, no licensing, and I guarantee you with Disney, that is not happening. So somebody just stuck that on there to make a little better sale to the cross collectors. And here is another one. This is a sticker seal where they've stuck a Kermit the Frog on there. Again, a Hallmark heart-shaped yo-yo. So just be aware if you're not seeing that licensing. Now let me show you a yo-yo that does have licensing. This is from the Powerpuff Girls. This is Mojo Jojo Yo-Yo. This is a Mojo Jojo Yo-Yo. So anyway, I like saying that. I just was having a brain fart here, and I couldn't spit it out. But if you will look at the very base here, you will see the licensing on that, and that is going to happen on any cartoon character, cross-collectible. You're going to see that. Here is another one that I had a little bit of trouble with. When I saw it, I bought this off of eBay. I thought, that's just a fake yo-yo from the Aladdin movie, but it was just, the picture wasn't that good. But when you look at it real up close and tight, and I don't know if I can get that up there high enough. Let's see. It's not going to focus in on. You can see right across the chest, it does say Disney Studios, and the base, it has the licensing on there. So that's a legitimate yo-yo, and pretty rare. I've only seen one of these. This was, can't remember where I got this. I got it on eBay. It was from another country. So that's what you need to look for when you're hitting these cross collectibles, especially these cartoon yo-yos. They are needing to be licensed, and you're going to end up pay more for these type of yo-yos because they are cross collectible, and you're competing with, like, for instance, this one, you're competing with the Disney collectors for this yo-yo. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight's episode. I'm going to talk more about collectible yo-yos and stuff next month. That will be on Thursday, March the 6th, and that will be the same time and same channel. And let us not forget that you can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lucky signing off until March the 6th.